All right, guys. Thank y'all for tuning back into the channel. We appreciate it so much. The subscribes and the comments and the likes are like, holy moly. Thank you to Rat Rod Bob for giving us a shout out from his channel. That is awesome. We greatly appreciate it. So, y'all hang out with us and let's see what we're doing today. Oh, y'all know what we're doing today. We're back on valve seals because we got our air compressor back up and running about 30 minutes ago. Finally, took a week, but we got us a motor. $500 later, we're building air pressure once again. Got this little nifty tool here from Mr. Russ Smiley, valve spring compressor. It works awesome. Screw that down on the stud, fold it over, lock it, and it holds the valve spring in place while you do what you got to do. Really like that. Me and Nick's already done 2. We're going to carry on and do some more. If y'all want to, hang out. We'll do the rest of these. Okay. Show y'all how this little tool works. Because I had never seen one. And I like it. I hope I can find me one. Maybe reach out to Manly or Manly, however you say it. I know they make valves in different parts, but I really like this valve spring compressor. And I know I've said that 100 times already. All right, Nick? Grab my magnet. I bet that air is loud. Put this in my magnet up there. Okay, Nick, ease off the. Yeah, this is way easier than the tool I built. And it's definitely way easier than the one that you clamp on and screw down. Good Lord.
What?
Look at the build up around that one, Nick. All right. Do you see the valve seal, baby doll?
No, I see a bunch of stuff.
See it right here?
Oh, yeah?
Watch this. Look.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that ain't doing much, is it?
no, it ain't doing nothing. See how brittle it is?
Mm-hmm. What other piece that fell? Did you get it?
I'm going to. I'll clean this really good. Look at this right here.
Yuck.
There's an old piece of it right there. So anyway, this is the reason this thing was smoking. It ain't that the motor's wore out.
No?
It had good compression.
It runs good. Just smoke.
It's just the valve seals were shot. But we're kind of doing double the work when we don't have to, because I'm putting umbrella seals on it, which they didn't start putting them on engines until like mid-80s. So these did not, this engine did not come with the umbrella style seal. This just come with the O-rings on top. But I got O-rings and umbrella seals. So we're going to double the insurance on this thing because I really, really don't want it to smoke anymore. When we get them all changed and everything cleaned up, I'll pull the drain plug and flush the motor real good. And we'll probably run some diesel through it. And then we'll put some cheap oil in it and fire it up and run it. Then drain that out, and then put a fresh filter and new oil in it. And it should be good to go because all of this old grime and gunk can build up around these valve stems and these seats from those valve seals, letting all that oil go by. But that was why this thing was smoking so bad. We should have done this years ago, but I just assumed that the old motor was tired and wore out and figured we just put you another motor in it.
Yeah.
So might leave this motor in here for a little while longer if
I'm fine
everything
with
checks
it.
out good and runs good. And either we can save that ZZ4 for another project, or we can put it in 55.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Let's just keep our fingers crossed if this thing's gonna run good now. Well, it did run good. Keep our fingers crossed that it's not gonna smoke and kill everybody behind you. So, okay. So I know it's loud with my fitting leaking on the head. Put some oil in on there. Gently slide that down. Make sure it's all the way down. Give her a little rotation. Okay. All right. Now,
Make sure the equipment is up to snuff.
yeah.
We're almost 25% through this. By the time we get on this side, we'll be ready to go. Be like a NASCAR picture.
Yeah. Everybody's like, Leslie, you know you could have just done the umbrella seals and been fine. And I know, you're right. But what do I always do?
Overkill.
Overkill everything. Even this poor little 307. Come on, put that in there. Should have put some grease on my finger. All right, Nick.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Now then, we're cooking with Crisco. All right, guys. We're gonna time lapse the rest of these so y'all ain't gotta sit through all this excitement and listen to my air leak off. We will be back. Last one. Yay! But that tool made it way easier. See, I can't remember where I laid it. Me and Nick decided if we do another one anytime soon, we're gonna start from the rear and work ourselves forward. But it'll be worth it. Motor run better. Will not smoke. All we gotta do now, figure out the transmission. Oh, I gotta pressure wash all up under here.
You
Where I've
do?
been cleaning and brushing all the gunk off his head. It's everywhere.
Oh,
Probably all over my face. Everywhere. But hey, it'll be worth it. You're supposed to be doing this.
I don't know that I can see good enough to do that.
What?
I'll have to get my granny glasses out.
Granny glasses, is that what you call them?
Yeah. Old people glasses.
You know why I got Nick holding this for me?
Why?
Because he's also ta-da! Mr. Russ told me that he was doing something by himself,
Oh, yeah?
and he was doing it on a set of race heads he was building for a guy. And he had a little bar on here. He said he would lock it down, and he'd work on the valve. And he said it come back, and the bar hit him right here, and he had to have 14 stitches.
Wow.
So that's the reason I've been letting Nick hold it the whole time with a pry bar on it. Because that would suck.
Yeah, it would.
There you go, my friend. Ta-da! New valve seals.
Yay!
No smoke, Dorothy. It's probably gonna smoke terrible the first time we crank it, though. Burn all these chemicals and everything off we've been using to clean with. But valve seals are done. We have new O-rings and new umbrella seals. We've cleaned the heads. I'm gonna go in there and clean them out real good one more time with some brake clean, and take the shop vac and suck them dry. Take the air hose, blow everything real nice and neat. This is what I was finding in there whenever we took the valve springs off.
What is that?
That was gunk around the valves. So probably, I don't know, Nick, maybe half of the valves even had a ring on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of them broken right off.
And they were broke. And whenever I'd touch them with my pick, they just shatter like glass. So they were brittle. So that's the reason this thing was smoking so bad. And I wish now we had done this years ago. I just felt like the old motor was wore out. But I never would have dreamed that the compression would have been this good on it. So anyway, what time is it?
10 something.
After 10?
10:19.
10:19. All right. We're going to clean up a little bit, shut this party down, and go home and get a shower because I'm tired. It's Saturday night. Let's shut it down. Nick, thank you for your help, brother.
No problem.
All right. Tomorrow, transmission pulling day. See y'all then. So today is, what's today, the 29th?
31st.
Yeah, 31st, I'm sorry. Today is August the 31st. It's a Thursday. You know what tomorrow is?
Wesley's birthday.
Yeah.
Everybody tell him happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. And I bet you for my birthday, I got Chevelle parts.
You did. How'd you know?
But anyway, so we got the valve seals changed, and I'm fixing to pull the transmission. My next step, when I get the transmission out, I'm going to clean it up real good because I'm waiting on some parts to come in. But I'm going to flush this motor real good, clean it really, really good, get all the grime and all off the heads. I've already done it one time, but I hadn't, I'll drain the oil out of it and put the plug back in it and pour some mineral spirits or some diesel down in it,
just to kind of finish flushing everything through. Put a couple gallons in it and just let it run out the oil pan. That way, if any debris that come out of them heads is down in the cam valley, maybe it'll just wash it all down to the bottom of the oil pan, and hopefully it'll come out of the drain plug. So then we'll do fresh filter. We'll do some cheap oil in it. We'll run some cheap oil in it for a few days, then drain it back out and put some good oil and a good filter on it. And she should be ready for cruising the coast as long as the transmission does not give me any trouble, because this is going to be trial and error. I think some of y'all might be onto something. I do believe that the modulator valve might be bad, but here's something else I was noticing the other day. And I don't know if this is the case, because I can't remember if I run into this issue or not over the years. So when I put this 4-barrel intake on here, probably 15 years ago, I had to run this little vacuum port right here behind the intake. And it's pulling vacuum to the canister and the modulator valve. If you can see where that splitter is, that might be the reason this thing is not shifting right or doing right. So I'm going to replace all of this and just run this line straight from the metal tube. I'm going to check it for bends and kinks and make sure that it's flowing and don't have a hole rubbed in it somewhere, to make sure that the modulator valve is getting the amount of vacuum that it needs. And I've got to pull the transmission anyway, because the front seal, because the car has set up for so long, is pouring. So I'm going to clean it. Excuse me. I might pull the pan off of it and inspect it. Let me take that back. I am going to pull the pan off of it because I have a new filter, new transmission pan gasket, new rear seal, new modulator valve. And what else did I order for that thing? I can't remember. But I got a friend that's pretty good on transmissions. I'm going to see if I can't talk him into coming over and let's drop the valve body and just inspect it. Like we said, tomorrow is September the 1st, so we are 1 month out from cruising the coast. And I still have to either change all of these bushings in the front end. As you can see, they are worn, they are shot. And I have all new disc brake conversion for the front. I have spindles, rotors, calipers, brake lines. I have the proportion valve. I have the master cylinder. I have the booster. I have the new rear brake lines. Now, the rear is going to stay drum, but I am going to replace the shoes and the wheel cylinders, because I would hate for her to get down there at cruising the coast and blow a wheel cylinder. That would suck terrible. Anyway, let's see. So on top of all that, trying to get this thing buttoned up, I want her to drive it around for a week or so to make sure everything's up to par, because the water pump might go bad from sitting. I might just go ahead and put one of those on there. I need to make sure that the air conditioner is going to take Freon. It was working when we parked the car. I had converted it over years ago. And I need to make sure that it's going to work, that the compressor has not locked up or froze up. No, the clutch and all still free. Pulley's still free. So there's just a lot of small things I want to go over with this car to make sure that it's going to be roadworthy for my wife, because I am the world's worst about waiting the week before cruising the coast, and we're hustling, trying to get something road ready, get it out the door. I mean, we've like wrenched till 2 a.m, took a shower, packed our suitcase, and then throwed everything in the truck, in the car, depending on what we're taking, and drive straight down to cruising the coast. Knock on wood, thank the good Lord above, we have never had any major issues besides, what year? 2016. So as far as mechanical issues, we normally, the average fan relay, I think on the Camaro 1 year gave trouble, and your fan flew off Rose 1 year. So
We got out of Hattiesburg.
yeah. So anyway, but I'd like for her to be able to drive this thing for about a week. We'll wash it really, really good and we'll buff it out. the old paint's dull on it. And I wet sanded and buffed the car when we first got it 15 years ago. And it needs another buffing because it's sit in here and it's just, I mean, yeah, it's nasty, but I don't know, it kind of looks oxidized or faded. I don't know what this spot is right here. It was like this when we got it. Maybe the old man or old woman touched it up. But anyway, so that's the plan. So let's get the car up. Let's get this transmission out and see how dirty and nasty it is. And maybe I can talk Jennifer into taking a scraper or a flathead screwdriver and clean the transmission up real good. Think you can do that?
I'll try my best.
What is you're saying? You don't like dirt where?
On my hands and on my fingernails?
Under your fingernails.
Yeah, I bought some gloves.
Oh, okay. Well, then you come prepared, so you're ready. All right, guys. So y'all hang out. Okay, so we got her up. I just wanted to show y'all how solid this car is. I mean, this thing is, I was so impressed with how solid this car was when we bought it. Jennifer did not want this car. She wanted a 67 Chevelle, but I loved how solid this old car was when we got it. The gentleman had I don't know, 10 cars for sale? Mm-hmm. And I was just so impressed on how solid this thing
Can I
is.
dig these dirt daubers down?
Can you do what?
Dig these dirt daubers down?
They're not dirt daubers.
Doogaloos?
Doogaloos!
Can I scrape them down?
Yeah, I don't care, but just whenever you do, just sweep them up in this pile. I tell you what, sweep them up in that oil right there that spilled. Okay. But anyway, don't know for sure, but might have to pull a header off. It's going to be close. Yeah, this side right here is going to be real close. So, anyway, the exhaust. Oh, look, this thing's filthy. I think, yeah, you can see all the fluid right there where this thing was parked. Over in the corner of the shop was a huge pile of transmission fluid, and it was right up under this pan, the dust cover here, inspection cover, whatever you want to call it. So the front seal has gone bad from sitting, and it all leaked out everywhere. Lord, that motor's greasy, nasty, oily. But anyway, so let me try to get this transmission out and we'll see what we're dealing with. What are you? Okay,
Oh, look, there's some in there.
they're dead.
I know that, but they're in there. That's pretty cool.
Is that kind of like therapy?
I love it.
Really?
Yes. Kind of like peeling skin. It's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
So satisfying.
All right, throw some paint on it and it'll be Craigslist restored. But anyway, while I'm showing y'all that, I got to get lower control arms and upper control arms. Either bushings to replace these, and those things, if y'all have ever done them, they are a pain in the butt. Golly, they're a pain in the butt to change those freaking things. So if I can find a good deal on some tubular upper and lower control arms, I might just go ahead and buy that. I stuck the springs in there a couple years ago whenever I bought the disc brake conversion. And we got sidetracked on something else and quit. The rear springs I hadn't put in yet. They're in the trunk. I'd love to do upper and lower control arms on this thing, because I bet the bushings are just terrible in it too. From age, I'm assuming. Oh man, if you wasn't wanting to drive this thing so bad, I'd set it off the frame.
No, we don't have time for all that.
I know we don't have time for all that, but I take it off the frame and clean and sandblast and paint and have you a pretty rolling chassis. And
She's fine like she is.
I know, but it's just OCD's kicking in. All right, enough of this. I gotta get busy. Y'all hang out. Well, I had to pull one of them headers. I pulled this passenger side off right here. It made life way easier, and it didn't take just a minute to get it off anyway. It fell right out of the bottom, so the way those headers come out and the way that bell housing was, I was going to fight that thing, trying to twist and turn and wiggle it to get it out. So I just pulled that one header, and it made life way easier. And since it's off, probably going to put a starter on it.
Okay.
Because it'd be our luck, get down the cruising coast and the freaking starter goes on, goes out. I'll have to pull that header to change that starter.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, moving on. All right, guys, it's out. Look at it says it's a 71, so how old is it?
Well, let's see. It's 4 years older than me. So 52.
52 years old. 52 years worth of oil, dirt, and grime. Golly, this thing's filthy. I've got to pressure wash it. Plug those holes to those lines. Pressure wash it real good. That's just terrible. Walk up under here. So, I remember now why I put the old 4-barrel intake on the carburetor. Because the intake was pouring. And see all the grease and oil up there? Mm-hmm. Look at the silicone where I put the new intake on. Mm-hmm. Well, it hadn't leaked since, but them old valve covers and the intake was pouring prior to us changing that. And there's no telling how long it's been leaking, and that's the reason it's covered. But anyway, like, see up in there? You can still see the shiny freeze plugs and the cast iron block. So, this thing's never been separated. I don't think it has. We might go ahead and put a starter on it too, so. But anyway, I had to put this chain right here around it to keep it from sagging in the rear because it was the fan was trying to bust the radiator shroud. And it would be an act of Congress to find a new shroud, and this one's in good shape, so I didn't want to take no chances on it. Oh, but it's out. It wasn't that bad. What did we get? I don't know, hour and a half?
Yeah, maybe.
So, those lines were boogers though.
Mm-hmm.
They were painting the butt to get undone. The fitting kept trying to turn inside the transmission that these screw into. And it's so covered in oil and grease and grime that my wrenches kept slipping, even my good line wrenches. But we kept working on it. We finally got them to break loose because I want to reuse these hard lines. We'll blow them out and clean them out real good. And the passing gear was not hooked up. I unhooked that. I had this style right here. So this attached to the bell housing. This went to the carburetor. So this part down here was still hooked up. And I don't know. Y'all might can tell me. This thing was moving really easy up and down. Like, because it had this weight on it. And the lever part was, I mean, just real simple to move. maybe this has something to do with it kicking out of high gear.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe this was moving or flexing and bumping it. I don't know. Because I didn't hook this back up to the 4-barrel carburetor, and I had forgot about that. So between us pulling it apart after we get it clean and checking everything, checking the valve body, we'll see what the issue is. I don't know, but it's just a bad time for us right now to try to spend the money on having that thing rebuilt. So I'm hoping we can just clean it up, replace all the seals, flush the cooler, go back and put the new modulator valve, filter, pan gasket, double check everything, undo that vacuum port where it's wide up there, where it'll have full vacuum going to the modulator, because I don't know how much vacuum the vacuum canister was drawing off of it. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And if worse comes to worse, we'll just wait till after cruising the coast and maybe go through it. Because you was driving it fine years ago.
Yeah.
It's just when you give it fuel, let me start over. If you're going down the road, it starts off in first. You had to let off the gas for it to go into second.
Right.
And then it would carry on. But if you laid into it, like you was going to pass somebody or just playing around, it would act like it went to neutral.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you let off the gas, it would go back into gear.
Yes.
So that might be a weak pump. We might be doing all this for nothing. We might put it back in and it still be doing the same thing. That's where I'm on the fence. I want to have it rebuilt, but if I do that, I want to go ahead and put the new motor in. So anyway, I'm all over the map. I don't know what I want to do. We just got a tight budget with Cruising the Coast coming up, and I want you to be able to take this. So maybe we can talk. Our buddy, I'm going to
Jerry.
Yes. Sorry, Jerry. I couldn't remember. I got so much running through my head right now. Do I change motors? Do I rebuild the transmission? Anyway, Jerry has been into these transmissions, so if he'll come up and we'll tear it apart and see what's going on, see if the clutches or pieces of clutches or fragments or band or whatever, he might take that pan off and it'll be full of crap. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, so this is going to wind us up on this video, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. And all the comments, I've been trying to comment back to everybody and talk with y'all. We've really enjoyed it. At night when we come in from work and get our baths, and we sitting there just watching TV, kind of hanging out, winding down. Me and Jennifer will go through the comments and read all of them and try to respond to all y'all. So anyway, we really, really enjoy it. And thank y'all for the support. And it's awesome. We are very thankful.
Yes, very thankful.
So, all right. Y'all catch us on the next one. Hopefully we got an answer what we're going to do with this transmission. See y'all later.
Bye.